What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch video, and today we're doing sort of a double unboxing. There are two watches in here from Signum. These are Cudas, and I have two different versions. There's two different sizes, so I am doing sort of a double unboxing. Before I get into it though, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. So getting right into it. Very simple packaging, just a cardboard box. I was told that they are actually, these are pre-production models, so they are sort of prototypes, and there will be some changes to them, just slight changes actually. And the packaging, I think, will go unchanged. You'll get a booklet with this, obviously, instead of just the watches. Here they are. So two different watches, two different sizes, really the same watch in two different sizes. This is a 38 or 40 millimeter version, depending on how you're measuring it. And this is a 40 millimeter or a 42 millimeter or a 44 millimeter, depending on how you are measuring it. So as I mentioned, 40 millimeters, if you measure it at the bezel, it's about 38.5 or 39. If you measure it from this side of the case to the actual the lug protectors, that measures it around 40 millimeters, and if you measure it from case side to case side without including that bezel, of course, it measures in at around 38 millimeters. You get a 44 millimeter lug width and then a 13.2 millimeter thickness. That is the NH38, because this does not have a date on it. This also gets a Meteorite dial. It is blue heated treated, so it's heated blue, which is very cool. Ceramic bezel, Oyster Bracelet. Basically both of them are same specs when it comes to that sort with the bracelet itself. So you get an Oyster Bracelet, some micro adjust push pins in the bracelet, and drilled lugs, milled end links, screwed in case back. The 44 millimeter version is really like 42.5 millimeters if you actually measure from case to case. If you measure including those crown guards, then you are at 44 millimeters, and then at the bezel it's around 43 millimeters. So it really depends on how you're measuring these watches. This gets an abalone dial, so it's a mother of pearl, but it's a really cool blue green mother of pearl, very different. This gets an NH35 because it has a date, ceramic bezel as well, all the same specs, drilled lugs, milled end links, push pins on the bracelet, Oyster Bracelet, milled links, milled buckle, of course. Very familiar buckle. We've seen these on many micro brands. You have plenty of micro adjust on this. Loomed crown. I believe the bezels are loomed. You get lots of loom on these indices and hands, and we'll do a quick loom shot. 200 meters water resistance, obviously, on both. Just a really good value proposition too, and I'm going to get into price because these are actually priced really well. Sapphire crystals on both. They're AR coated and flat. Screwed in case backs, as I mentioned. So that's pretty much all the specs on these, and the price is really what gets you on these, because these are very affordable. Now this 38 millimeter or 40 millimeter, however you want to call it, with a Meteorite dial comes in at $349. Now really it's the Meteorite dial that costs $349. So if you get this with the Meteorite dial in the 44 millimeter package, even if you want the date, it's still $349. And if you wanted this with the abalone dial on the 38 millimeter package without a date, it's $299. So it's $299 if you want the abalone dial, and it's $349 basically if you want the blue Meteorite. That's the only thing. So if you want a date, you're not getting charged extra. If you want a bigger watch or a smaller watch, it's not going to cost you anything extra, which is kind of cool. So they've made the pricing very simple on this. The crown is really nice. There is a little bit of wobble and grittiness when you're doing the unwinding and setting of the time on here. However, they said that is something that will be addressed. And this gets the NH38, so there is no ghost date position, which is really nice on that. And then they also said the bezel action. I think the bezel action is really good on here. It's just that there's a little wobble. You can see that. The bezel action is actually excellent. Let's hear it. They're just going to tighten it up when it's fixed in one spot a little bit more. And then let's look at the or hear the bezel action on this one. This gets a blue bezel. The other one with the blue Meteorite gets a black bezel. I think that's how they're doing it. I didn't see really options otherwise on the website, but there might be. Definitely check out their website. I'll put a link, of course, in their website below. Very similar bezel action, but very similar wobble as well. Same thing with the crown, really. But they said both of those items will be addressed in the production models. As I mentioned, these are not production models. And the back of the watch just has a little bit of a, I think it's a Barracuda, or Cuda, obviously, yes. Let me take off some of this plastic here. And it just gives you the spec sheet of the watch. I'll do a close-up of the back as I normally do. Really just a very good price proposition here. Pretty cheap watch for $300 essentially. You're getting a 200-meter dive watch that is pretty well spec. The only thing I can say is that you don't get screwed links, but that's not a big deal if you size the watch to your wrist and you don't need to change it very often. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I would appreciate having it, but you do have some micro adjust here. These were lent to the channel. I do have to return them. The owner of this company is actually the same owner as Stratton Watch Company. If you guys are familiar, they make sort of racing inspired chronographs, so car racing inspired chronographs. Most of those are quartz, and I think they wanted to get into the diver sort of game, and this is their first foray into that. Very interesting watches, good looking watches. I'm going to throw them on my wrist so you could see how they look. I think they're very interesting. Now, you're going to have to like these types of bezels. I personally, I would go for the blue Meteorite, especially for $50. I think it's a no-brainer, but you could get it in gray Meteorite, just that, you know, it's not heat blued. The Abalone is a little bit out there for me. I think it looks beautiful. It's just something that I probably wouldn't go for. I would definitely go for that blue Meteorite. I think that's really cool. So very quickly, let me show you what I have on my wrist. Today, I am wearing, and I have not stopped wearing since it came in for review. Again, another watch that I have in on loan from Accutron. This is the Accutron DNA. Just an incredible, incredible, cool watch. And I will be very sad when that has to go. But all good things must come to an end. I will be sad when these have to go because I really haven't had a chance, a lot of chance to wear them, and I know that they are probably going to have to go out pretty soon. I will try and do a full review on them, but you can see this is the 38 or 40 millimeter or 38.5 or 39 millimeter, whatever, depends on how you measure it. I think it looks great on my wrist, and it just fits very nicely. And I'm actually really happy that they came out with a true dive watch in 38 millimeters. I think it looks really good. But the 44 also looks amazing on my 7.5-inch wrist, so let's try that one on. I have not sized these, obviously, but I will. I'm going to try and do a full review, see if I have enough time to do a full review on these. And there you go. It's kind of flashy, you know. It's not for the faint of heart. Good looking watch. Anyway. Very quickly, I will do a loom shot, and then we will wrap up the video. I don't know, man. Every time I get a watch like these on the channel, I literally want to do a loom competition because this is insane. Look at this loom, and that 20-minute right there, that countdown for 20 minutes on the bezel, it's just solid loom. Insane. Just really good loom on these. They are like flashlights, literally like flashlights. And again, this gives Zelos a big run for their money. And I could say these guys are probably aiming for Zelos with these prices, these specs. They are undercutting them, really. This is a lot of watch for the money. Definitely check them out if you are interested. Very, very nice watches, really nicely made. Just good looking, handsome watches. I definitely, I'll put the specs in the description below because I know it might have been confusing where I was talking about the 44 millimeter and I was talking about the 40 millimeter. I'll put the specs in the comments below so you guys can see exactly what the sizes are these are. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments below, of course. I want to hear from you guys. Good looking watches, kind of weird with very funky dials, but you know, if you have more than one dive watch, that's kind of what we're looking for, right? That's kind of what I just wish I had more money that I could buy every watch that comes across my desk. but unfortunately, I have kids, they have to go to college, and I cannot. But I would love to, this 38mm right here, this is the 38mm with that blued Meteorite. I think that looks awesome. It's really something kind of cool, and I really like the idea that they blued the Meteorite. That's pretty incredible. Heat blued it, not chemically treated, so very, very cool. Loom crowns, just saying, pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for logging on. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, follow me on Instagram, like and subscribe as I mentioned, and also have a very happy Thanksgiving. I know we're coming up to Thanksgiving very soon here in the United States, so please have a happy, healthy holiday. Please stay safe. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.